Hi, this is Linda Morris, and today I want to talk about air quality. We know that there's a lot of things that go in inside and outside that can cause air quality issues. I just came back from a medical conference in New York City, and actually the focus was on mold. And I've been to way too many medical conferences and talks about mold, and it is a really scary problem. It can cause all types of issues. In fact, you might want to just Google and see all the problems that can happen, and it's very scary. In fact, I've gotten really scared. One thing you really never want to do is clean mold with bleach, because that breaks open the spores and you've now infected yourself, and you really don't want to do that. In fact, if you are cleaning it, make sure you have one of those I-95 masks on that we all have now, and gloves. I would wear long sleeves and everything. In fact, you might want to have it professionally done, but you want to find something that won't break open that spore so you infect yourself. In fact, as I was looking through, learning in New York, so many people came to my booth that actually were from Utah, and they were talking about the mold issues they had, which surprised me. I live in Florida. We know it's a humid environment, and we know that there can be mold growing quite easily, actually. But there is another friend of mine. He's from Connecticut. His house is a 188-year-old house. So obviously that house has been around a long time, so it's had a lot of time to start growing mold. I remember being at one doctor's seminar, and they were talking about how this young girl, she was a teenager, and she was an athlete, and she went to school in this really old school. Well, within a year of going to that school, she was actually in a wheelchair because her body just could not handle that mold. And some people are more sensitive than others. So Nikken has an amazing air wellness purification system. It's called CAP. Kenzen means health in Japanese, air and purifier, that means CAP. And I'm lucky enough, or fortunate enough, or I've invested in myself enough that I actually have one in every room in my house. In fact, I have two in my living room. So when I came back from New York this last week, I actually had a shower valve that had failed, and fortunately, only when it was running. And my master bedroom closet had water in it, and I had a rug down. That rug was wet, and I'm like, well, how's that happening? Where's that coming from? Because I couldn't see any visible way. And I had a plumber out yesterday, and they got it fixed. But that night, having just come back from a medical conference that the focus was mold, I freaked out a little bit about it. And I brought my Nikken Air Wellness filter in, and I put that in the closet after I'd thrown out the rug. Put on an I-95 mask to, as I was cleaning up, I actually sprayed my closet with silver spray. And, when you know too much about something and how scary it is, it's not necessarily a good thing, although being cautious is extremely important. So Nikken Air Wellness, I'm going to just put my PowerPoint on, and we're going to just share the benefits and also some awarenesses. How's that sound? So the KenkoAir Purifier, and let me get here on the right page. We want to see the slideshow from the very beginning, please, and get it started. There we go. It's actually a very attractive air purifier. It's brushless, so it's very quiet too. And you can see the different colors up here. When it's all red, that means it is working on cleaning something. It's automatic. We actually have an auto setting that you can see right here. It says auto, and that'll automatically kick up if it detects something that needs to be cleaned. I personally keep mine on a fan speed of like 2 or 3 because I am a more is better person. Also, some people really like to have this in their bedroom to create that white noise to help with sleep. But, definitely want to take it into your bedroom. If you only have one, move it around from room to room, but keep it in your bedroom at night, because to breathe that good, healthy air all night long is a wonderful gift to give to your body. So indoor air can be many times worse than outdoor air. There's dust mites in your bed. Oh, so many dust mites in pillows and bedding. And that is the beauty of the Nikken sleep systems, is they're open weave materials that dust mites have a really, really difficult time living in. So that will help your health almost immediately as soon as you get a Nikken air sleep system. Chemical vapors from carpeting, cleaning agents, furniture, and odors from cooking oils and food. There poor ventilation, and there's airborne contaminants, pet dander, and also pollen that can come in if you have your windows open. Mildew, mold, water, or gas leakage. These are really scary dudes. Air conditioning and heating produces artificial or a natural air. I live in Florida. We do not use our heat very often. And so when we do, it has that, it's not a nice smell when you first turn on your heat for the first time of the season. It's like, ugh, I don't like that. Luckily, we don't have to use it very often. Not all HEPA filters are the same. CAP is patented to generate negative ions. It gives the feeling of being in nature, in a forest or by the lake, but no ozone. No ozone can actually smell electrical. And actually what you're smelling is those little hairs in your nose, and actually long enough if you use it, in your lungs burning. We don't want that. That's no bueno. Multiple stage filtration captures up to 99.97% of 0.3 micron particles in the air. So that's teeny tiny. It captures and locks those in to the filter. The pre-filter is reusable. Don't ever throw it away, because you can wash it, you can vacuum it, you just dry it really well before you put it back in the air system. Outer filters are replaceable, and it's recommended you change every 6 months. And you can put that on your auto ship, which gives you an extra discount when you have it on auto ship. So Nikken is committed to go green. We reduce, we recycle, and we reuse. So the Energy Star fulfills the first stage of reduce. CAP is Energy Star qualified. It's 35% more efficient than standard models. It saves 215 kilowatt hours per year. It's achieved with environmentally friendly technology to use only 55 watts to cover 313 square feet. Ozone-free operation. Another way CAP is environmentally friendly, ozone is the main component of smog, but some air purifiers emit ozone. And actually, I have a friend that she's going through mold here in Florida, and she bought ozone. She has an ozone system, but she's like, you have to leave the house. And she's like, if you have pets, you cannot use ozone, because like, I know birds will die from ozone. So I do have 2 cats. I'm like, I'm not going to do that to their little bodies. No way. CAP is ozone free and therefore non-toxic, helps reduce the overall amount of emissions. So fulfilling the second R, which is recycle. How can an air purifier be recycled? It will last for many, many years, because all you need to do is continually replace the filters. When you decide you want a new one, what happens to your CAP? CAP is made with recyclable materials: polyurethane, polypropylene, activated carbon, microfiber, and ABS plastic. I can't imagine ever getting rid of any of them. I love all the air systems. We've had 3 generations. I use them all. They're all great. Fulfilling the third R, reuse. As mentioned previously, there is a reusable pre-filter. Whenever the filter is reused, it has helped to reduce the carbon footprint of the product. Keeping the same unit and using it daily is also keeping the promise of reusing. Made to last, your CAP will be with you a long time with proper care. So true. Dimensions and specifications. It's 14 inches by 22.6 inches tall and only 10 inches thick. 13.9 pounds. So it's easy to pick up and move from room to room as you're getting started with owning your KenkoAir filters. Can be set to operate automatically with particle sensor, or switch to manual, on and off as desired. Leave it on all the time. Don't turn it off. Leave it on. That's what I do. Air quality display. You can see the air in the room, as I showed you in the first slide. Clean air with a clean conscience. Breathe well and help sustain the environment. Easy to share better health, and share a commitment to reduce, recycle, and reuse. Support Mother Nature. And, coming up, we have May is Asthma and Allergy Month, Allergy Awareness Month. but every month should be awareness of breathing easier. 3 phases of the KenkoAir Purifier: retains particles present in the air, neutralizes odors, removes even small particles with a 99.97% efficiency due to the multi-stage filtration. Pure air in minutes. You can kick it up to turbo. Like if somebody is like coughing, having a hard time breathing, first of all, I get them a big glass of the Nikken Mag water, and I would turn the KenkoAir filter up to high, the turbo, and have them on the back side, have them breathing where that good air is coming out. So they really can clear whatever is going on. Negative ions create an invigorating and refreshing environment. Automatic sensor identifies environmental pollution levels and automatically adjusts in operation. Replaceable HEPA filters available on auto ship. So we now have the Yes My Wellness Home. So if you are a customer, have your consultant actually create a link with your email address. And to help make every home a wellness home, Nikken has developed Yes My Wellness Home. This is an exclusive offer for you to send to your potential customers. It enables your customers to select and build their own wellness home packs and save 10% off their order. When your potential customers click on the link, they will be taken to the Yes My Wellness Home site. They will see your name and email information on that site. Usually it's in the top left corner. To take advantage of this offer, your potential customer must order at least 2 products and spend a minimum of US $350, Canadian $430 to obtain the 10% discount. In addition, all orders for more than US or Canada, $500 will qualify for free shipping. You know, Air Wellness is a little heavier, so I would make sure I did it this way to make sure you get free shipping. Your potential customer will need to sign up as a registered customer to proceed with the order. This is a one-time link and it will expire in 15 days. No, it can't be reissued, so you need to do it in that 15 days. Per email address, I should say. The Yes My Wellness Home site offers most of the Nikken product range, except those that can be purchased on wellness subscriptions, such as filters and nutritionals. Skincare is the exception and is available. You can track all links that you've sent below. So please be aware that this link and the discount it gives will expire in 15 days from today. And then you actually create that and send it on to the individual. So let me get out of sharing. Stop sharing. So anybody on that like to share anything about why they love their Air Wellness? Just unmute yourself. Go ahead, Elaine.
Okay. This is just something visual that helped me a lot. I was exercising one morning in the room where my system is, and it happened to be that time of day where the sun came in at just that angle where you see all the little dust, that's floating around, and it looks so sparkly and kind of pretty in that light. But I was down on the floor, doing some floor exercises. And right in front of me, I saw all of that dust moving over to the air system. I mean, I literally saw it. And because normally we don't see what's in the air, but it was just so cool to actually, see the air system, just kind of slurping it up.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great story. I know I've had people come to my house and your house is so clean. You have cats? How is that possible? I'm like, I do have one in every room in my house. So, and this is my office. So I actually, I have clients that come here. I wear like 7 hats of wellness. And actually right behind the big lounge chair over there, you can see the corner of the Nikken Air Wellness is right there. So even though, we're going through times where people are sometimes really worried about what they're breathing, I'm like, well, I have the most amazing air filter is right behind your chair. People like that extra sense of security. So thank you for sharing that. That's lovely, Elaine. Anybody else? Last call.
I'd like to give a testimony.
Okay, go ahead, Sandra.
My sister came to visit me one day, and even coming into the house, she was coughing and sneezing. And so it was clear to me that she was in distress. So I said, Pat, come here, breathe this right here. And she says, I'm not buying anything. I said, Pat, you've come to visit. Please breathe this air. But I don't want to buy it. I said, Pat, nobody's talking about buying. You're coughing and sneezing. Please breathe the air. And I still had to encourage her. I love my sister, so yeah, she knows about the Nikken products. She came over to the system, and within 5 minutes, the distress stopped. And she just looked at me. I said, we're not talking about it. I just want you to be comfortable. So we went on and had a good visit. When she left, she kind of looked over at it and she left. Immediately when she got home, she called me and she said, my husband wants to know how much is it. So yes, she bought one. Have one other testimony.
Okay.
Al and I were having a meeting where we had invited people over, and this particular customer was at her home, and she was having a breathing attack and wheezing and carrying on. And she remembered that I had invited her to the meeting at our house that particular day. She called and she said, I feel so bad. Something's going on. I need help. But before I go to the emergency room, can I just come by and sit in that chair under that light and breathe your air? And I said, of course, please come over. She came, we put her directly beside the air unit. And within like 15 minutes, she was participating in the conversation because we went on with the meeting. And she ran the meeting that day, because when people realized how she had come in and what was happening, anyway, needless to say, she did not have to go for any other type of assistance that day. But I just absolutely love it. And when I've come from my son, oh, here's a third testimony. When I have come from my son's house, he has a Rottie, and I love dogs. So I'm all in their face and playing. And yeah, I got a reaction. And when I left, I said, son, I've got to go. He said, Mom, I know, I see it. I see, I understand. I came home and just stood over my system. And yeah, we've got several. I don't even know how many, but almost one in every room. And I stood over that system and it cleared it up. My body was asking for clean air. And thanks to Nikken, I was able to give it to myself. Thank you.
I'm glad you brought that up, Dr. Sandra, by the way. So the Nikken necklace, the magnetic necklaces, also help prevent people from having some of those issues that you just spoke of. And that combined with the air filter, like I said, I have a lot of customers and clients that come to my home, and if I know they have an allergy to cats, I'll put a necklace on. But a lot of times, just because of the air filter, they often don't even have the reaction. But some people are more sensitive to others. And so if I know they do, I'll just put a necklace or a power band on their neck. And sometimes I have to chase them out to the car. Wait, get back. But that way they can have more comfort. And a lot of times they won't have that response that they do in other people's homes. So thanks to a Nikken Wellness Home, air filters, extra necklaces on hand, good Nikken Mag water, sleep. Who wouldn't want to live like this? I mean, really. It's the best. So thank you guys for sharing.
I have another.
Oh, we have another. Okay.
Actually, two. Actually, two.
And there's more. Yeah.
I live in Long Beach in New York. And my basement, I have a basement, which is unusual for the area because the water, people get a lot of water in that area if they have one. So when we first moved in, I hadn't gotten French drains yet, and we used to get like a few inches of water every so often, and I'd have to vacuum it up and so on. And I had two of the original machines down there, and I would keep them up
Filters, yeah.
high enough, the air filters, so that they would be safe. And people would come to my house and they could never believe that there was ever water in that area, because it was just not musty smelling at all. So they drowned, unfortunately, when we had Sandy, because even up on top of the washing machines, they, and I have every iteration of the machines in my house. And the newest version is one of the several of the newest versions I have. The one where we now have on special is in my kitchen by the downstairs, right near where it goes down to the basement. And a few years ago, all of a sudden, it just kept getting red. It was red. And I couldn't figure out why it was red. And I had somebody come and check down in the basement, and there was something going on down there that was not good, from my heating system. And that could have been a lifesaver.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
so
Okay.
yeah, so that was corrected, and that warned us because of the sensitivity of the sensor. This is upstairs on the first floor near the stairs to the basement. It still sensed what was going on down there. So
it
they're
may have saved your life. That's a big deal.
yeah. So I love, God bless, Nikken air filtration.
And I've heard a similar story. Somebody had a fire in their house, and they had their cap system on auto, and it kicked up the turbo, which woke them up. And she's like, "That's what woke me up, was the air system." And they may have perished if they hadn't been woken up in the time frame that they were. So
I know that story.
Yeah.
And I know that lady. It's Pocano. Oh, what's her anyway?
that's
That,
okay. We don't need all the details, but yeah, go
that's
ahead.
true. That wonderful lady and her husband were asleep in bed that night, and the tap kicked into high, and it was the noise that woke them up. And she didn't know what was going on, and she told her husband, "Go check it out." He went to the basement, and there was it was smoking, but there was an electrical situation coming from the wall. And they quickly left, and the fire department said it would have been a really big catastrophe. And because of the smoke and all that would have happened, yeah, it was a real life-saving situation that CAP permitted.
Wow. The
I just wanted to add
it keeps the benefits just keep piling on. Go ahead, Marcia.
I just wanted to add a PS to what my story was. With the original machines, I still had one left upstairs, and I still have it. So you mentioned something about longevity with these
20
products.
years, right?
I still have the one that didn't drown. I still have in my house, pumping away in my living room. So it is certainly, no matter what the cost of these machines, the investment is worth it, because just how long it works, it just stays forever.
Yeah. And Nikken keeps selling the filters, which we're grateful to. So it's been probably like 23, 25 years since we had the original. Yep. I still have 3 of the originals that I keep using too. Hattie Jane, what do you got?
Well, I just had to jump on, because when I got my machines was when they first came out, and I got a bundle because I had to get out of the hospital and get back home to Mother, because at that time, with her Alzheimer's, I was a primary caregiver and she needed me back home. But I got off the oxygen in record time, and I've been happy ever since. And it's like the allergies are just, everybody around me sniffing and sneezing, and I'm not.
We don't.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Of any sort. So,
and they're still functioning,
right? That which is what you'd say instead. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Last call. We all love our air systems, and we're so grateful, and the benefits just keep going and going. So get them. They'll be happy you did. And they're quiet unless they need to be noisy. Thank you so much.